So picture this, you're darting through the battlefield like a lightning bolt on steroids. We're talking lightning fast dodges, electrifying grenades, and a supercharged super that'll have your foes questioning why they even tried to stand in your way. So whether you're a seasoned arc hunter looking to spice up your gameplay and not do the normal dodge melee combo, or you're just a curious guardian wanting to harness the power of the storm and lightning, this build will allow you to jolt everything in your path and make quick work of rooms filled with enemies. And since we can constantly apply this jolt debuff from any distance, we don't have to be in the face of champions. So we can sit back and take it easy because the power of lightning will do all the work for us, and even in Grandmaster content like you're seeing in the gameplay. But before we jump into the build, we have a sponsor on today's video. Do you all remember high scoreboards? I miss those, but good thing Mech Arena has them back. Mech Arena is a super fun, free-to-play online shooter that you can play on mobile or desktop, and one of its coolest features is its tournaments. These weekly competitions let you compete against others and earn some really nice rewards. You can access them without too much progress in the game, and you'll be matched with players at your level, so don't be afraid to get involved. They're one of the best ways to get resources to upgrade your mechs and weapons. They're also the only way to access the awesome chaotic free-for-all mode, which has no teams and pits you against all other players. If you play Mech Arena, you should be playing tournaments. And if you haven't tried them already, then what are you waiting for? A tournament is a weekly high-score competition lasting 6 days with rewards each day it's live. Players compete in 5v5 deathmatches or free-for-all brawls, and earn battle score that determines their tournament ranking. And at the end of each heat, you can earn resources to upgrade your mechs. Rank high enough and you'll be promoted to a higher bracket for the following day, where higher quantities of rewards are up for grabs. And this June, Mech Arena is celebrating Pride, offering players the chance to get Pride-themed skin for free via gameplay, and later in the month we're introducing an epic sci-fi themed event, bringing new maps, a new weapon called the Chain Gun, and a new mech called the Scorpius, and also a new heavy-duty pilot with an awesome unique look. So a ton of new things coming this month. Mech Arena is completely free to play on Android and iOS and PC right now, and you can use my personal link down below or scan my QR code that you see on screen to get bonuses worth $30. We're talking 1 Missile Rack 6, 1 Prodigy Crate, and 1 skin to help kickstart your game. So this is one of the best times to get started in Mech Arena and jump into those tournaments, and I know you guys will have some fun if you do so. Thank you so much to Mech Arena for sponsoring today's video. Now normally on the Arc Hunter, you're probably used to the melee dodge combo and running a one-punch man build with either Liar's Handshake or Assassin's Cowl. Those two builds are still easily in the top 5 builds in Destiny, but I wanted to play my Arc Hunter a little differently because I am just getting a little bored of that gameplay. Plus, some of you might not be the best at performing those combos, and some of you might just hate that particular playstyle in general, you know, getting into melee range and all that. But I still wanted to play and run my Arc Hunter because who doesn't love unleashing lightning fury on everything? So today we have the Jolt grenade build, and the entire goal of this build is to apply that Jolt debuff to everything we possibly can, and make sure we have it available at all times. The Jolt debuff will allow us to add great AoE damage, to clear out those red bar enemies while still being able to focus on champions or the Hive Guardians in this Grandmaster. We also get a damage bonus on those high health targets because the Jolt debuff is damaging them as well periodically as we put more damage into them. All in all, I still think the Jolt debuff is one of the strongest in the game, and we're going to take advantage of that to its fullest. Now I want to recommend to you to take a strong arc weapon with you. There are many of these to choose from, and I was solo in this Grandmaster, so I chose an arc glaive for those unstoppable champions. But if you have someone on your team handling that, then a grenade launcher like either Forbearance or Salvager's Salvo would be great for this. A strong arc weapon is going to play into 2 of our fragments. These 2 fragments are going to be Spark of Beacons and Spark of Discharge. Spark of Beacons is while you're amplified, your arc special weapon final blows create a blinding explosion, and this chains perfectly into Spark of Discharge. Arc weapon final blows have a chance to create an ionic trace. We're pretty much always amplified on arc subclasses in general, so our arc special weapons can create blinding explosions and create us ionic traces all by just doing what we normally do with our weapons, and that's killing things. And blinding is really strong in Grandmasters. It takes enemies completely out of the fight. You could also even take this season's new exotic auto rifle if you would prefer that, but I tend to keep my exotic slot open for what I think is the best endgame weapon, and that is Wish Ender. Now besides the ability to one-tap a barrier champions and any red bar enemies, so we're already off to a great start there, we get an insane amount of super energy every time we do damage with Wish Ender because it is an exotic primary weapon. So we get get double the super energy, and since it puts out a ton of damage equal to that of special weapons, we get even more super energy since your super regen is tied to how much damage you're outputting on enemies. And we get that exotic primary buff of double the super energy from damage from exotic primaries. So Wish Ender and endgame content when it comes to anything with barrier champions, I am always taking because it is so strong. You guys can find the full written version of this build in one easy to read screen over on Mobilytics. So if you prefer to see it in text format, then you have that option as well. Now the other two fragments you're going to take is Spark of Resistance and Spark of Shock. Spark of Shock is going to allow those skip grenades to jolt everything that it comes in contact with, and then Spark of Resistance gives you that 25% damage reduction when enemies are near you. So a nice bonus to that damage reduction there. Now for our first aspect, we're going to take Flow State. Defeating a jolted target makes you amplified. Well, all our targets are going to be jolted thanks to those skip grenades, and while you're amplified, your dodge recharges more quickly, you're more resilient while dodging, and your reload speed is greatly increased. And I can't stress how nice this reload speed is with Wish Ender. It makes getting those arrows out that much quicker, and since Wish Ender is such a strong weapon, it's really nice. And then our second aspect is Lethal Current. We're still taking this one because we can still do our dodge and melee combo all we want. Damaging any jolted target with melee attacks also blinds them. You do want to take Combination Blow and Gambler's Dodge with this build. Gambler's Dodge just gives you that melee back, Combination Blow is a strong melee on its own, and combined with Lethal Current, it's going to jolt things as well. For your grenade, you want to take that Skip Grenade, and our exotic of choice is going to be Shinobu's Vow. This is a grenade-centric build, all around jolting, and this plays perfectly into that. The exotic perk is New Tricks, improve that Skip Grenade, and you gain an additional Skip Grenade charge. Skip Grenades return energy when it damages enemies. Now when we have these on, our Skip Grenade drones chase enemies much more aggressively, which is really nice, and this will give you back close to like 70% of that grenade that you initially threw. So just by adding in some extra mods into our gameplay loop and how we're going to do some things is going to get our grenades back coming back very quickly, just like the 6 grenades you saw in 20 seconds. So when I'm not running a punchy Arc Hunter build, I'm definitely running this grenade build because it's still one of my favorites. Now for our mods on the build, again, this is all about orb creation and getting our grenades back. So on our helmet, we're going to take Harmonic Siphon and Kinetic Siphon. Harmonic Siphon to generate orbs of power on multiple kills with arc weapons, which is going to be our special and our heavy, and we're also going to take Kinetic Siphon to generate orbs with Wish Ender on double kills. So all our weapons are spitting out orbs for us, and then we're going to take Ashes to assets. You could even drop this if you want to add something like maybe Heavy Ammo Finder or Special Ammo Finder, but just in case my skip grenades do kill some red bar enemies, like maybe some Thrall, I'm getting back that super, that Gathering Storm back very quickly, because it is one of the strongest burst supers in the game. But your grenades really don't kill things that often, it's more just jolting everything, so this one is definitely traded out for something else if you want. Now on our gauntlets, again, because our grenade doesn't kill things, we're going to take Heavy Handed. Your powered melee final blows create orbs of power, so just in case something pushes me or gets close, I can melee off that. I can kill them and get some health regen just from the melee ability, but also create an orb of power there that's going to proc everything else, including health regen and grenade ability. Next we take Bolstering Detonation. So this grants us class ability energy when you cause damage with a grenade, just to cycle back to that class ability, because it's going to proc a lot of things for us. And then also Grenade Kickstart. This is how we spend our armor charges, and we're going to get grenade energy back for those armor charges that we spend. On our chest piece, it's all about damage reduction. So in this particular Grandmaster, I was running Concussive Dampener, Arc Resistance, and you could even run Solar Resistance. Now on our boots, we're going to take Innervation and Recuperation. So every time we pick up orbs of power, we're going to get grenade energy and we're going to heal. And Recuperation, when you pick up that orb of power, you get 70 HP on one orb. So when you pick up 2 orbs, you instantly get full health, which is really nice. We're also going to take Elemental Charge. Collecting a Ionic Trace has an escalating chance to give you an armor charge. And we're going to get a lot of traces coming back just from killing things with our arc weapons. On our class item, we're going to take Bomber. So every time we dodge, we get reduced grenade cooldown. And then we're going to take Reaper. After using your class ability, your next weapon final blow spawns an orb of power. Reaper could technically be traded out if you really wanted to, but I still really like Reaper. And I think the biggest use I get out of Reaper is we always use our class abilities on all 3 classes, right? So let's say I then pull out Wish Ender and I shoot 1 target. Well, I gen an orb of power by killing that enemy because of Reaper. And an orb of power does a lot of stuff for you in any build that you're working with. It procs Woven Mail on Strand, it gives you healing when you're running Recuperation, it gives you grenade energy when you're running Innervation, and it gives you super energy in general. But then you kill that second enemy with Wish Ender, and that just procced Kinetic Siphon. So now after using your class ability, basically your next 2 kills gen each an orb of power. And the more orbs of power you create, the more it helps your build, the more it helps your teammates build, It gives you all super energy, so you guys should be generating orbs of power as much as you can. And then the last mod we're going to take is Powerful Attraction. This automatically collects nearby orbs of power when you activate your class ability. So if you guys are tired of running those punchy Arc Hunter builds, then I suggest you give the good old tried and true Shinobu's Vow a chance again, and I think you will have a lot of fun, especially this season with all the Arc mods. Oh, and with those artifact mods, obviously just take all the Arc related artifact mods. We've already went over those plenty in previous videos, so you guys should know to take those. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.